welcome back. We're on the third installment of this series, and we're getting ready to go ahead and begin applying some of our materials. So let's get started. Okay, so when we left off, we had completed our walls, our floors, our ceilings. We added in all of our doors and windows, and now we're getting ready to apply material. So remember, we assigned all of our polygons different material IDs. Okay, so that way they could correspond to the materials that we selected for our model. And you can put, I mean, there is a limitless amount of materials that you can put on an object. You know, I know you only see the few swatches in there for colors. As far as in our material editor, well, at least in the old school when you did, I know I used to worry about, man, I'm not gonna have enough materials to put on all my deals. But using the MultiSubObject Material, you literally can use one of those to put all the materials for every single thing in your scene. I wouldn't suggest it, because then you have to kind of remember what goes what goes where. So let's go ahead and press the letter M on your keyboard, and that should bring up the material editor. Okay. Remember, I use these materials just to kind of help to be able to see and differentiate my different objects, but we're really not going to be using these moving forward. And I may use them to just copy over some things to kind of speed up the process, but this is our material editor. Okay, so let me go ahead. I'm going to hold your middle mouse button down, and you can move this around. Okay, so I mean, it's kind of intimidating at first when you first open it up if you're used to the old school way. So I'm going to show you what the old school looked like, and it was the compact material editor. This is the way it was for many years. So as you can see, we have the maximum number of spots that we can use for materials. However, even here you can still go in and choose a MultiSubObject Material. Okay, but we're gonna go ahead and go with the slate material editor, just because I feel like it gives you so much more flexibility and power to really be able to modify your second, third, fourth, or fifth layers of materials. So let's do this. Here is a MultiSubObject, okay, and I'm going to try to explain this as best as I possibly can, but hopefully after you watching this video and also doing some practice on your own, you'll be a pro at it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to make this one our first MultiSubObject Material. All right, now right now it gives you a default of 10, but if we remember correctly, our model consists of walls. Now I'm going to double click on this first. Okay, when you double click on that, it brings over the editor portion that allows you to basically begin to put your materials in here. So this one material is made up of all of these sub materials. Now you can go in and set the number of materials to as few or as many as you want. All right, so but right now what I remember is that we have 5 materials basically. Well, we have 5 objects in here basically where we have given material IDs to. So I'm going to go ahead and put 5 in there, and then I'll hit OK. Now when I hit OK, you'll notice that this over here, it'll go from 10 to 5. Okay. Now I like to go ahead and name all of the objects in here. That way we won't have to worry about missing anything. Now I can't remember which IDs I did, but if I'm not mistaken, we said our walls exterior were number 1, and then we said our wall, and I'm just using the tab key to go down into more. Then we said our walls 2 were the interior. Okay, and then we said I can't remember, I believe it was the floor. If not, we'll make it the floor. Ceiling, and then the patio. Okay, so right now we have our walls exterior, our walls interior, our floor, our ceiling, and our patio. Okay, so that's going to be 5 materials. all right, that we'll have into this one material. Okay, so these are the sub-object materials. All right, now now we'll also have the we're also going to have 5 materials for both the doors and the windows. So we're going to create 2 more. Well, for the purpose of this video, we're going to create 2 more multi-sub-object material. Okay, so let's go ahead and remember how we get there to start off. The multi-sub-object material. All right, let's go. Now we're going to call this one the doors, and it has 5 different materials as well. No, I think my keyboard battery is about to go down because it's taking an awful long time. Oh yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah, and I'm very particular about this. You don't have to be as particular about this as I am, but I'm a Virgo. What can I say? Double click on this one right here, and you see up at the top where it says material number 35. We're going to say apartment building model. That's what I want to call it. I want this to actually be the apartment building model. Or you can say building model, or you can just say model, but just don't leave it blank or material number 35. That would irk me, but I'm good. So we got, so on our doors here, we have, okay, there we go. Now on the doors, these are actually labeled, the program actually, 3D Max has already set what these materials are, or what these actual items are within the material. So we're going to go ahead and use those. Okay, so here on our, okay, so we've got our front, our back, our inner bevel, our frame, and our inner door. Okay, so these are the materials that that we'll be using, and typically, you know, in a residence, these are either white or they're an oak wood. So we're going to go with white. We're going to keep things simple, pretty much for the purpose of the video. You can always be able to go in and exchange, and if you want to do something that's a little more liberal in your selections, then by all means do so. But so now what we'll also need to do is create a third multi-sub-object material, because these are for our windows. Okay, so same thing. On the windows, it's going to have the same number of materials in there. I'm going to go with 5, and then we're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing. Okay, we have our front rails, we have our back rails, we have our front frame, and our back frame. And here is where our glazing or our glass is. Okay, there we go. We are on our way now to be able to make this model happen with materials. Okay, now let's go ahead and we're going to exit out of the material editor, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select my exterior wall, and then we'll do a right click, go to hide unselected, because right now I just really want to look at my exterior wall. Okay, we have, remember, in our material editor we selected in our material editor we have our exterior walls set at the material ID of 1. Okay, and then for our interior walls we have that set for 2. Alright, so right now we're going to deal only with our exterior walls and our interior walls. So once I'm going to unhide by name, and we're going to go with our interior walls, our 3D interior walls. Where are they? There we go. Okay, so now we have our exterior walls and our interior walls right here on the plan. All right, so we can take this, we can select both of these, and we can take this multi-sub object and click right here on assign material to selection. Now make sure that your multi-sub, oh look at that, I did not name those. So let's see, we're gonna say windows. Okay. Now going back to the apartment building, double click on that material, and then we're going to go to we're going to click on the assign material to selection. There we go. All right, now for our, remember when we made those other materials, what we're going to do here, just to kind of keep things consistent with having an actual material in there, let's go ahead and drag this over, and we're going to go copy, because we're gonna delete those anyway. All right, we're not deleting. We're gonna organize them so that they can be the way that we want them to be, and we can keep up with them better. So click here. All right. Now we're gonna go ahead, and for the walls interior, we're gonna copy that over to the second. We're gonna use copy here. Okay. All right. And then for the floor, the ceiling, and the patio, we're going to leave those alone for now. Let's see here. Okay, so here we go. So we've got our materials for our exterior walls and for our interior walls. Let's go. All right, now when you look at this, you can see here that the material colors are back. Okay, let me put this on shaded view. So now what you can see here is that our material actually took place here on our object. When we go into the sub object level, the polygon level, we can see here that everything is on 1. Okay, the same thing for our interior. They should be on 2. Okay, we'll just click on 1 and see that it's on 2. Okay, now but what we want is we're wanting our interior walls to all be the same color. So as you can see, because this is on material ID number 1, it's still on our exterior walls. So now I'm going to hide the interior walls, and then we're going to go into the sub object level at the polygon level for our exterior walls, and then we're going to change those material IDs to 2. So that way we will have the interior walls materials on this structure. Okay, now let's only click here on the polygon. We're going to click on the select object button right here. Now it knows that we're only clicking on the polygons. Okay, so that's now I'm going to hold the control key down. Every time I click one, I'm going to make sure I continue to maintain that control key. Okay, here we go. We've got here. This deal is, let's see here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I was having an issue with my keyboard, but I think we're back now. All right, so now I'm holding down the control key, and I'm selecting every polygon on the inside of our apartment. Okay. Bloop, bloop. And also I'm being very mindful and careful that I don't accidentally move one of these polygons while I'm clicking. Sometimes it happens, next thing you know, you have a polygon out of place. You're trying to figure out why is it not cooperating. So okay, now that we have, now that we have all of the polygons on the inside selected, and just to keep things consistent, because we're gonna end up making a change here on this one right here, but I'm going to go ahead now, just for the purpose of the video, and I'm going to show you exactly how we're doing this. Okay, now so we've just selected all of our interior polygons for this apartment complex. So now I'm going to go over here to set ID, and I'm going to press the number 2, and so now each of the polygons that we have over here are on they have the material ID of number 2. Okay, so when we come out of here, you can see that now that material, or the appearance of that material, has changed. Now all materials, or now all polygons that were assigned to the polygon ID of 2 are now showing the color or the material that's inside of that multi-sub object level. I hope that I explained that clearly enough. So we'll keep going. Okay, so now what we'll do to really be able to show you is we're going to go ahead and unhide our interior walls, and you can see here that now the interior of our space is all the same color. Okay, now ultimately what we're going to do is we're going to have more than one interior wall color in this apartment, but for now let's go ahead and we're going to select all the items, and we're going to bring up our floor. Okay, so let's see here. We have our floor, and I believe that the floor had material ID number. We set it to number 3. Oh, okay. We set it to number 4. So we'll need to go in and change that. So let me see, what did we set to number 3? Unhide my name. Got ceiling. Okay, we set that to number 5. Unhide my name. Okay, we're going to our multi-sub object level. We set the patio to number 3. Okay, so we're going to probably swap some of these. We'll make that patio number 5. Okay. Yeah, this keyboard is really tripping right now, but that's okay. It won't stop us from getting this thing done. Then we'll go ahead and hide that. And then we're going to make our floor number 3. Okay, and then we will hide that. Okay, then we're going to make our ceiling number 4, and then we will unhide. So now we're going to unhide our floor, our interior, our patio, our floor, our interior, and our exterior. Okay, now so watch this. We can select everything in our scene and type the letter M on your keyboard, or you can use the toolbar here, and we're going to take this one material and we're going to go to add to select the material. You see that? So right now we have just added this material to all of our items, okay, except for our doors and windows. So now what we'll need to do is let's go ahead and put the remaining materials in. Okay, so we have our floor. We're going to go ahead and drag that over, copy, okay, and then we'll get, just to get that out of the way, then our ceiling we have at number 4. Copy. Okay. Well, it kind of feels like double work because we've already done this, but trust me, in the end, you'll see that this works out perfect. Okay. So right now we have our walls exterior, our walls interior, our floor, our ceiling, and our patio. All right. Yes, I told you I'm kind of anal about this. I like to try to keep all of my levels and everything neat. All right, so now for each one of these, eventually we're going to have to also give them map IDs. Okay, so let's go ahead and assign each one of these IDs from here as well. I like for everything to be vertically aligned, so I really it's just kind of my thing. You don't have to, but I would say that you probably want to, just so that you don't run into an issue later on where you're trying to figure out why something isn't showing up. Okay, so now for our doors, let's go ahead and get us a material. We're going to double click here, And we're going to say for our front, okay, and then we're going to say, we'll go ahead and name that front. This keyboard is sticking pretty bad. It's like it's not. I guess it's time to change the battery. Let me check on this real quick. Okay, and so we have our front. Now let's go ahead and add another. We're just going to drag it over here, another V-Ray material, and then we're going to call it our back. Okay, this up here we didn't name yet. Alright, I don't know where that come from. Yeah, that material was, that deal was doing something kind of kooky. Alright, front. Alright, and then we'll add another to, let's make it back active. We'll add another, because these are our doors. And so basically this deal is going to all be the same. So what's another way that we could have done this? We could have just said copy instance. Okay, as a matter of fact, I think that's what we'll do. Well, no, I'll go ahead and continue doing this just to be consistent, and then we'll make changes to it later. Okay, we've got number 4, and then we've got number 5. Okay, so we've just put 5 materials into our door level. All right, our door material. All right, now we need to give this a name. So we're going to name this inner bevel, and then we'll need to give this a name, frame, and then we need to give this a name for the inner door. All right, let's go ahead and move this down. Okay, the same thing here for our windows. I know this process is seeming kind of long, but you know, this will help you out tremendously. I'm going to go, all right, so we have our front rails, and then we'll say copy, copy, copy. All right, we'll say back frame. All right. Oh no, that's number 3. Yeah, this is one of the things that I'm still working with myself as far as on the slate material editor. Now, I may need to do a little research and figure out how to get these things to always pop out here at this. Always get those to pop out exactly where they need to be. Okay, there we go. See, I have to keep everything in line. That's just kind of my thing. We'll go here. Okay, that shouldn't say back frame. That should say glazing. Okay, or glass. Okay, this should say back frame. All right, and then we have for number 4 our front frame. Then for number 5 we have our back frame. Okay, so now for both our doors and our windows, we're pretty much going to have the exact same color. We're just going to make those a white, you know, or yeah, we're just going to make those a white. Okay, I'm not going to add any, any texturing or anything like that. We're just going to, just for the purpose of the video, we're going to, what I did, I copied that white color. I'm going to paste it into here. Okay. Into the diffuse slot. And for the glass, I'm basically going to make the glass, I'm going to give it the color of black. and then we'll do just a little bit of reflection, but you know, don't worry so much about this part at this point. Because we're just still kind of working on the tutorial. You know, you'll have plenty of time. I'm going to go into the refract. I'm just going to bring it all the way here. You know, you'll have plenty of time to work with these materials, and I'm going to do a video to go over those with you. So that way, you know, you can kind of have something to go on with getting started. Same thing for our doors. Just gonna give those a white color. All right. Oh, copy. All right. Now, paste. 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 Basic parameters. And paste. Okay, so now we have our doors, we have our door material, we have our windows material. So now we can just go ahead and start putting things on here. All right, now let's unhide all. Let's basically unhide all, and then we're going to you see here where it says 3D doors on your layer tab. Let's go here where to the icon where it says select objects in the current layer. You can select that, and it will select all of our doors on this level, on this layer. So now we'll go down here to the door material, we'll make it active, and then we'll go to add selected material to objects. So we're going to do the same thing for the windows. We'll click over here on the layer tab, we'll go to 3D windows, and then we will click the icon that says select objects in the current view. Once we select those, we'll go back into our material editor, make the windows material active, and then we'll hit add selected material to the object. And now, as you can see, our windows have the material. Okay, our windows has the material, our doors has the material, everything has the correct material assigned to it. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to start getting a little more in depth with this plan. Let's go ahead and let's go to our 3D windows, and let's hide all selected. Okay, then we're going to go to our doors, since now they have their material, and we're going to click on select all. Well, select all objects on the doors level, and then we're going to go to hide objects. Okay, our ceiling, we're going to go ahead and hide the selection. Our floor, we're going to go ahead and hide that selection as well. Okay, now right here what we have is we have our interior walls. Okay, so let's go ahead and hide our exterior walls for a second. And as you can see, like I mentioned, we're going to have a couple of different walls, a couple of different materials inside of the apartment. So for our kitchen walls, which are this area right here, we're going to give it another color. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the polygon sub-object level of the interior walls, and for all the walls in our kitchen, we're gonna give it a color. Let's say, you can choose your own color. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it probably a light green. How about that? I'm gonna select that polygon, this polygon, this polygon, and this polygon. And I'm gonna rotate it around. And I'm going to, because this is part of our pantry, we're going to select this one and this one. Now there's a back wall that's part of our exterior wall that we've already hidden. So what we're going to do is right now it has the material ID of 2. So if you look over here, it says 2, and we know we have 5 materials so far. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make this material ID number 6. Okay, and once we make that material ID number 6, see, it's just going to have some different color. But now, when we go into the material, materials, we'll come up here to, well, let me move these down some, because we're going to create quite a few extra materials. All right. I'm just going to move these out of the way so we'll have some more room. Okay, and there we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to double click on our apartment building material, and then we're going to go to set number, and we're going to make it 6 instead of just 5. Okay, now this material will pop out, so we're going to have to go ahead and give this material some characteristics. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to say walls kitchen. That way we have it named as the walls kitchen. We'll come up here, we'll choose material number 6. Alright, now for our, let's see here, V-Ray material. Yeah, I'll take that back. I'm going to delete that. This is just kind of a shortcut because the video is getting kind of lengthy. So, oops. Okay, there we go. V-Ray. All right, now we're going to call this material our kitchen. Our walls kitchen. Okay, now we're going to click on our diffuse slot, and then let's come over here with a light green. I want a light green kitchen in there. Okay, yada yada. Okay. All right. Copy. I'm going to copy this color so that it matches up when we modify our exterior wall. Okay. Now that we've done that, as you can see, the color has now changed to the green color that we selected for all the material. For everything that we put on material ID number 6. They have changed to that green color. So this is how you can have multiple colors within your object using that same material. And so you just have to remember, but if you do a good job with labeling, you won't have to worry about having to remember them all. Instead of just looking at material number such and such and such and such, you can actually look at the name. So that's just kind of my workflow. It's probably a lot quicker if you're not talking while you're doing it, but that's pretty much what we're going to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and begin assigning materials to the walls, and you do the same. Okay, and for me, I have a restroom here in this area and a restroom here in this area. So I'm going to add one more material to my master sub object material, a multi-sub object material. All right, so we've got 6 now. We're going to go ahead and have 7. Okay, we're going to call this one restrooms. All right. Oh, that's right. Yeah. I don't want to throw anyone off, so let me keep consistent with this. Okay, we'll say restrooms. All right. Okay, so now we have our restroom. So we're going to give it a light orange type color. Okay, that's more beige. There we go. Okay, so now this is going to be the color for our inside of our restrooms, and I think it'll go perfectly with the tile that we're going to select. So let's go ahead now, and I'm going to change these polygons to material ID number 7 that we have just defined. Okay. I want you to take notice of how that wall just went all the way down. So we're going to have to do some doctoring up on this thing to make sure that the walls that we want to be on a certain material ID are actually there. Okay. Okay, so we're going to change this from 2 to 7. Alrighty. Now let's take a look at that. You see that it's pretty light. So let's see if we can get something that shows up a little better just here with inside of our study. There we go. See how when I make that change it automatically made it? I actually kind of like that color. I want it to be bright and festive. That's the orange I like. Okay, now so we have our white walls, our green walls, our orange walls. I think I'm going to go ahead and make the entire number 2 the interior for the remainder of the interior walls kind of an off-white color. So I'm going to click in here, make that my active color for number 2, and let's add a little more yellow. Just a tinge. Okay, there we go. All right. And so now what we need to do, because like I said, we're going to have an area over here that's part of our exterior wall, and the area over here that's part of our exterior wall where the colors of the wall will need to match those particular rooms. So let's go ahead and unhide our exterior walls. And as you can see here, right here, all the way over to there. So I'm going to hide our interior walls, and then I'm going to select the edges, all the edges, and then I'm just going to do a cut or connect. All right, but I'm going to do 2 connects on this side, and then we'll check that. Then we'll turn around over here, and so now what I need to see, I need to be able to plainly see the area over here as well. So what I'm going to go ahead and unhide our interior wall just so that I can see where those cuts need to happen. Okay, so basically what we need is we need to have one that's right here that'll split this wall right here. So now that I've seen it, I can go ahead, I know where I need for it to be. We'll go ahead and hide this again. Oh, there we go. Get out of, yeah, got to get out of sub-object level. Oh goodness. There we go. Okay, now we'll select our building again. And then we're going to go ahead and do another connect. Okay, but this time we'll go ahead and make it just 1, because we really just want to split the difference of that wall. So unhide by name, we'll select our interior, so that way we can make it, we can go ahead and move our line. I'm going to come up here to my top view, click on the move transform, and basically, and before I do this, I'm going to explain. See, over here what we did was we did a connect, so that way we could create an additional edge so that we could be able to move, because we just want our orange walls to be within the restroom area. Okay, so now when I click on the move and select tool, I'm just going to grab this. I'm going to move those lines that we have selected over. Okay, to about right there. And so it did move over here on our drawing as well. So you can see that view, and you can also see this view. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. But what I'll do right here so that you can see it real quick is I'm going to go ahead, I'll hide this wall. I mean the interior walls. Let me get out of sub-object mode before I mess something up. Okay, then I'm going to hide that, and then we'll go ahead and select these polygons so that you can see what we just did. We're going to click here, we're going to click on the polygon sub-object level, and then we're going to go in here, and we're just going to click all the polygons that are on this section for our bathroom. Okay. Uh-oh. Yeah. See, my keyboard is acting pretty weird right now. Okay, so you have to hold down the control key, select the polygons that you want, and we're going to change the material ID to the polygon ID to 7. Yeah, I'm going to have to hurry and get that fixed because right now my keyboard is not working the way it's supposed to. Okay, you see how it did change those colors just for that section of the wall. So what I'm going to do is I want to make sure that the area is the way that it needs to be. Okay, now see, for both of our restrooms, which is here and here, it just painted that wall, but this is part of the closet, and we don't want the closet to be within that. So I'm going to go ahead, when I click on the edge mode, let me go ahead and hide unselected. Well, no, actually, I'm not going to hide unselected. We want to make sure we can see where those. I'm going to go to vertex, and then I'll come here to where our vertices were for the area that we were looking at. Okay, now right here when we come out, we can see that this is within that closet, and this is the area that is in the restroom. Okay, so we want to come and move this to where it shows up in our restroom only, and there we go. All right, and it just updated over here. So now we have the correct area with the correct wall color. Okay, so now we'll need to do the exact same thing on the other side. Yeah, this keyboard thing is going to have me hot. All right, now same deal over here. We're going to move over. We're actually going to move just the vertices for this wall right here, and we're only going to move them over enough so that there we go, right there. Okay, and then we're going to go in. We're going to select the polygons. We're going to make it number 7. Same thing there. All right. Now, just so that we can make sure that this is correct, we're going to go ahead and select those vertices. We'll come back in our top view so we can be about as accurate as possible, and we'll come over here. You see that that's tilted, but it's fine. Right there. All right. So now we have 3 different colors on our interior walls, but we're still using the same MultiSubject, the same MultiSubObject material. All right. Okay, now for this one, we're gonna we're going to go ahead and we're going to add another material, because I believe we're going to use a siding on this one, and we'll also have to split this. We'll have to split these edges, because the material we have in here we're going to have in here as well, on this side and that side. So now we'll add one more. Set number to 8. Okay, the only thing I did, I just went to did a right click and just changed on, and just changed that to change material type. That's it. So we're going to call this siding. Okay, we'll just give it a kind of a light color. Alrighty, siding. We'll make that number 8. We'll make sure our restroom says number 7. Make sure our kitchen says number 6. Alright, we're good there. So now let's go ahead and go into our sub object level. We're going to click here. Look, we click behind there, but that's okay. We're going to click here, here, and here. We're going to go ahead and make that 8. Okay. We'll rotate this around. Same thing here. Okay. All right. So now, since we've just made both of those 8, alright, so what we're going to need to do now is we're going to need to connect the edges here, so that we are able to separate those walls. Let's say connect. Okay, we've got that one section right there, and now we'll just go to the move transform. And we'll go ahead and go up to the top view so we can be able to see this better. Alright, now we're going to move that right about there. Okay, so you see, then it'll update there. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, we have too many selected. That's it. Go to vertices. Oh, no. Sub-object. We'll select all of our edges, do one connection. Okay, and now it just made new edges. So now we'll go to our top view, and we should be able to move those selected edges right here. We can update our view. So now let's go to hide unselected so we can see and make sure. We'll make sure that these, goodness, we need to change that back to the number 2 for material ID number 2. Okay, because these out here, they're going to still be on number 8. Okay, yeah, I apologize. I'm having these technical difficulties with this keyboard. I'll have to make sure I go out and get this thing replaced before the next video. Okay. So now, as you can see, we do have at this time some different materials within our model. Okay. This should be material 8, and 8, and this should be on number 2 with the rest of the interior. So we'll go ahead and select. We'll go ahead and get out of sub object mode. and we'll go into, well, we're going to unhide our interior once again so that we can go ahead and put these on the number 8 as well. Yeah, see, it's like my control key is not working, so it's not allowing me to make multiple selections. Okay, but anyway, we'll go ahead and make that 8. No, not a problem. We'll make this 8. We'll make that 8. We'll make this 8. And we'll make this 8. Okay, I believe that is it. So this right here should hopefully it didn't confuse you too much, but it should really allow you to see just how powerful being able to use the multi-sub objects are within your 3D model. You know, you can basically be able to assign and organize every one of your materials into something that you can be able to see while you're modeling, and you can really get this thing set up and going. You know, it gives you a lot of power to be able to make the changes and see those changes pretty quickly for what it is you want to do. You know, we have one material that's basically giving us 8 different looks for our building. Okay, in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to use maps within our material to begin making our model look a little more realistic. So we'll be introducing using bump maps. We'll introduce using actual material maps. We're gonna pick a material for our outside. We're gonna pick materials for our insides, and we're gonna have a little more fun. All right. Thank you for coming and watching the video. Hit like and subscribe, and come back and see us soon. Thanks.